Mate, good to catch up with you again. Great day on Saturday at the show.
Yeah, thanks, Howard. Yeah, nice to have you back for a weekend in the
Well,
old
you've been trying to get me back for a long time, so it's Monday now, and it's a special day today for you as well.
Yeah, 19 years today since God left us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to look at some of the stuff you've got, and we'll talk about that as we go through.
Yeah.
So we're here in God's country.
God's country or backyard, yeah.
It's a bit of a Holden heaven, and we've got some magnificent cars we're going to go through and have a look at. So I'll grab the camera and we'll have a walk through, and you can show us some of the stuff you collected over a very long period of time.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Righto, so we talk about stuff we find in sheds. Bones, you got a bit of a collection going on here, mate. So I believe the Monaro's, you detail this one?
Yeah, detail it regularly for the owner when he actually gets it out the shed, yeah.
That's the go. So, mate, quite a few cars, and you've got a fair Holden history, haven't you?
Yeah, I started working, I think, at Don Lee's in '82, if I recall right, as a car detailer.
So Don Lee's was the local Holden dealership, and quite a large one back in the day when Bones started there. I'd been at Argent Motors, I think, a year or so.
Yeah, they took over my bike track, so they employed me in the end.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, it used to be our push bike track around there when the old railway line went through there.
So, mate, you've obviously collected a lot of bits and pieces over the years.
Yeah, I try and find stuff that I can find that interests me and hang it up on the wall, and then cupboards and benches and that, yeah.
What's this one, mate?
What's that, the number plate?
The Excellence Award, no, the one above it.
Oh, that's an award I won back in, geez, can't even remember the year it was, Howard, to be quite honest.
2002.
Yeah, they have awards, and for some reason I ended up winning that one for excellence in sales in spares. So
you went from detailing to spares?
Yeah.
And then I think you used to do all the regos and stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, you used to go down and register all the vehicles, and if you were buying a car and you didn't want me to know about it, it was a bit of bad luck. I knew about it.
So, mate, you would have driven every Holden known to man, I imagine?
I reckon every Holden that was sold, or Jackaroo or Colorado that was sold through Don Lee's, I drove it most likely before the owner. And that, yeah.
So, mate, the Brockie here, the Aero, that's one of yours. So tell us a bit about how that all come about.
Actually come about, I was down the Stir Club with my dad one night, and the wife phoned me up and she said, we're going to have a look at a Commodore, because she wanted to buy a new car or second-hand car, and at that stage I'd had a couple of drinks, and I thought, okay, so I jumped in the car and went and had a look at it. And it was actually a bloke from Tasmania that was working up at, I think it was a zinc mine back then, or Pasminco. And I looked at it and I thought, oh yeah, it's interesting. And before I actually brought it, I got some numbers off everything and phoned up Peter and Sandy that owned HDT, just to verify that it was what it was. And I got a phone call back from Peter, have you brought it yet? And I said, no, I haven't brought it yet. I'm waiting to find out if it is what it is. And he said, well, it is what it is, and it was build number 64. So yeah, so 2 days later, we got the money out from the bank and she was brought home.
So you talk about that as if I just rang my mate Peter Brock to find out whether the car was real. So
yeah.
You've obviously got a bit of history with Peter.
Yeah.
And the family.
I actually met Pete in '79 when I was still at school, when the Around Australia come through, and they actually used the workshop over at Don Lee's to do all the work on the cars back then. And you know, I actually got introduced to him when I was a young kid, and I've followed him ever since, and I've met him a few other times and that, and we actually had a lad, and everyone figured it would be named after Peter, which it was, and that, and he's grown up, and he's actually met him a few times in his life and that, and I actually had the honour and the privilege when they came through in the 2004 and 2005 safaris. I actually had the honour of chauffeuring him around town while he was in town for the day. And he actually drove the car, which was something, you know, you don't see too many people have someone like him drive your own personal car. But no, I met them. I've met Bev a couple of times, a lovely lady, and as you can see on the bonnet there's a mural of him off of a book that was brought out a few years ago. And one of the local artists up here, Jamie Long, and I were talking about it, and in the end we decided on this cover off this book. And I said to Jamie before we do it, okay, I want to do it the right way. I want to ask the right people if it's okay to do it and use the cover. So I got in contact with the gentleman that did the book, and he said no to start with. And then I got in contact with some other people and to verify that I wouldn't sell it to make profit off of it. And in the end he said yes, and so that's how that came around. And it was only supposed to be on there for one car show. It's been on there now since 2011. And
this car has a few stints at the Mildura Holden Museum, doesn't it?
Yeah, I loan it to Ronnie and Kayleen down there every now and then. It spent 12 months down there a couple of years ago on the museum floor. So yeah, no.
So I haven't been in that one, but they tell me it's a pretty good museum to go and have a look at.
Yeah, it's a lovely collection that Ronnie's dad originally started with, and they've taken it over now, and they've been in there 10 years next year, which is an achievement. So yeah, it's a lovely place to visit. I love going there and calling every time I go out to Mildura, catch up with them, yeah. So yeah.
So mate, I see you collect a few stubby holders and hats, and you're telling me you got boxes of them.
Yeah, I have boxes of them in the other shed that you can only fit so many hats on display and stubby holders. And I figured out the rafters in a shed are quite the right size to display them, I thought. So yeah, they all hang up nicely.
Certificate of authenticity, eh?
Yeah.
All right, so mate, tell me about the Tirana. We'll go out and have a look at that. What's the go there?
Deanne found that too, mate.
Hey?
My wife found that one as well.
As well?
She found that one as well,
so
yeah.
She's the car person more than you by the sound of it.
She finds them, we just buy them. Yeah, she found this one. She actually, when we had the little fella, she went into doing house cleaning, and it was sitting up in the top of Thomas Street Hill under Bill Pritchard's driveway. And she phoned me up at work one day and she said, Gavin, I'm up here at Bill and Jan's cleaning the house and there's a Tirana sitting under the driveway, under the carport. I said, oh, right. And so I've left Don Lee's and gone for a ride. Gone up and had a look, and had a look at it. Said, yeah, okay, do you want it? And she said, oh, I'd love it. So, you know, the usual thing, went down the bank, had a chat to the bank manager, and 2 days later, I drove it over to Don Lee's, not knowing it didn't have any brakes at that stage. So I'm going down Thomas Street Hill with no brakes.
So how good was it? Did you restore it, or it was pretty much?
We haven't restored a lot. We've only tidied it up, Howard. Like when we bought it, it had dragways on it. So we got rid of them and put the hot wires on it. And, had Lindsay at Silver City Crash back then when he was alive, did all the
stripes?
The last striping and that on it. And the interior, Neville Taylor and I redid all the interior, but other than that...
Isn't it funny, all these names? All these names. Yeah. Neville Taylor did the trim on my original Burgundy car. And the house you found it at, he used to paint our motels.
Oh, right, yeah, so, you know.
That's the thing about living in a small town, isn't it?
So, you know, we haven't done a lot to it. It's basically as we've brought it, really. It's just a couple of cosmetical things that we've changed on it. And that, so yeah. So
mate, bit of a Coke collection?
Yeah, I'm into me Coke and me chocolates, yes, as you usually should know by now, yeah.
Well, you and I both, mate.
And that, so yeah. Yes, I'd run out of shed space, so we started on the carport with all my signs.
All your memorabilia and signs and stuff? So you're saying that one there was, you scored that very early on?
Yeah, I scored that over at Holden when they redesigned the building when Smith took over and that, so it's been hanging up there now for a few years and takes pride of place.
I just noticed that the old Don Lee's, which is not Don Lee's anymore, right? Is it still Don Lee's?
No, it's called Silver City Motors.
Silver City
Silver
Motors.
City Motors.
There's still a Holden sign up there as
Yeah,
well. That must be due to come down, isn't it?
No, well, that's not coming down. I found out by the dealer principal, because when they were taking them down, he phoned me up to let me know. So I took all the cars over there and had a photo taken underneath them all. And lo and behold, they took them all down and then they moved them up towards the service entrance where it was, and they're actually staying there.
Because it's a Holden service department.
Yeah, and the GVM dealer didn't want all that side for the signage. He only wanted so much of it.
Fair enough.
So they've just left it there, and you know, it's quite interesting. You go there and you still see the old Holden sign and the service and parts sign hanging up.
So mate, HR?
Yeah, I found that one.
You found that one?
I found that one. It used to be Brucey Bennett's and that, so we've had that 22 years now, and it's all original. Interiors, stock standard, and that. It's been used in weddings and proms. It was actually used in a short movie last year.
Oh yeah?
And that out at Monday Plains, yeah. So yeah, it very rarely comes out.
So you play a bit of golf, mate, or you just got the sign?
No, I used to play. I haven't played for about 8 or 9 months now. Yeah, we play with all my uncles and all that, and we go away and have a weekend away every year.
I like the sign.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of balls to golf the way I do. I like that.
Well, there's a lot of balls in the golf bucket inside. Trust me, Howard. There's a lot of golf balls around. And that, yeah.
So mate, that's pretty cool. I always say it, but you see all this stuff, but I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, there is a bit more, Howard, if we want to go inside and have a quick
Go
look
in the
at
house
a
because
room there.
there's some things in there, and we might even pop a few bonnets when we come back and have a look under the bonnet. A couple of these.
That, yeah, that's easily done, mate. Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Righto, we're now in the room. Now, it's a little bit tight, and obviously, mate, what's going on here? Obviously, you started somewhere and it's grown.
Yeah, I reckon it would have been in 79, 80. There's a mirror down in the corner here of the A9X Tirana from 79. That would have been the first start of my collection, I think. And then it's, as you can see, Howard, it's grown immensely from there.
So mate, you made a comment to me earlier, and I'll see if I can help you out here. This big poster.
Yeah, the one there with the two Commodores at Sandown, they came out in a pair. I've been trying, I don't know, for the last 30 odd years to try and find the second one, and I've had no success at the moment.
So if anyone's out there watching this, and they can see how much love there is between Gavin and the man himself, and you've got two, or you've got one you can spare, give us a yell and we'll get it to him. Mate, with all this stuff, tell me about some of the really special things that either you did with the family or with Peter himself.
With Peter himself, when he started the Peter Brock Foundation, Sandy, that's now married to Peter Champion, she actually worked for him, and I joined up. I thought, you know, it's to help kids out and that, so I joined up and I've become a founding member, which the certificate in the cabinet there just underneath the photo of me and Peter. You know, that I was pride of place, knowing that you gave money to help kids out and you helped a legacy. And that, so that was one of
I love your way. Just under the one with you and Peter.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
And that. And then it's grown from there. You know, like I said, I've met them a few times and actually went to a HDT function down at Moama and that, and had weekend away and that. So no, it's been a good association with him, and as we walk over everything to get around.
The whole floor's covered as well, so I'm just 100 kilo tiptoe.
Oh yeah, no, it's grown. You know, I've when he passed away in 2006, I didn't get the chance to go to the service, but in one of the glass cabinets, I actually think I've got the booklet from the service somewhere in this room. There is one, I know that. And it might sound a bit morbid to some people, but I've actually got a disc of the service.
No, I think it just shows your passion and dedication over the years, mate.
And that's, yeah, and now that's it. And then a couple of years ago, we were up at Uppbeat just before Peter and Sandy had to close the museum, and we spent 3 days up there, and we're walking around the marvellous collection and that, and I kept walking out of the museum to where Pete had some gear on a hoist and that, and there was a car underneath a car cover that took my fancy, and I kept going back to this car, and I'm thinking to myself, it's got to be something special under that cover. So I kept looking, and I looked at the shape of the car cover that was flowing down, and in the end it got the better of me, and I figured to myself, I got an idea, that car's the Daytona. So I've walked in to Peter and I said to Pete, question you don't have to answer me if you don't want to. I said, but the car under the car cover on the hoist, I said, is it the Daytona? He said, how do you know what it is? I said, just the shape of being short at the back and long at the front. And that, and he said, yeah, he'd only just had it finished then to put in the museum the night after we were there. And that, so yeah, but no, it's a car that put a lot of controversy in because people didn't want it to be rebuilt, but Peter, with the blessing of the family, rebuilt it, and he's still got it today. It's a car he'll never sell, he said. And that's yeah, but no, that's a special time up there with them and that, because we're in the office with Peter and Sandy, and our Brock's gone for a walk around the museum on his own because he's only about 8 at this stage, and we're in the museum, and all of a sudden you hear this, Mum, Dad, and you think the worst, you think, okay, there's this beautiful museum and he's walked or dropped something or pushed something over. So we've gone out of the office and gone up to where he was, and on the wall there was a photo of him and Peter. And so he's pointing his finger at it, and Sandy and Peter have taken a photo for their collection and that. So that was a proud moment for the little fella, knowing his photo with Peter was in a museum and that. But the main and the only part that I don't like, this is all good stuff, but the main and most personal part that belongs in my collection, believe it or not, is a 40th birthday card that was organised with Peter and Bev through my wife. You know, to me that is the ultimate item in my collection. So you know, that to me is one of my most personal things, to know that it was organised with my wife and Peter and Bev as a surprise. So, you know, everything else, you know, is nice, but something like that is the ultimate.
Yeah, should be very proud, mate.
And that's yeah. But no.
Well, mate, you're bloody tearing me up now.
Sorry, mate. I get like that with Miss Pat on Saturday, trust me. I had to stop there for a couple of minutes.
Mate, I'd just like to thank you on behalf of everybody for sharing.
No, that's all right, Howard. I don't mind. You know, it's something that's grown over the years, something I'm proud of. You know, some people call me an idiot for doing it, but hey, I'm an idiot that loved the man.
I'm going to say they're the idiots, mate. Don't worry about that. So he's not normally as red as he is at the moment. We all got sunburnt on Saturday at the show because the cloud disappeared and it ended up a hot day, because I'm looking in the camera going, God, you look a bit red, Bones.
No, I am red, but it's not sunburnt.
We're in this little room, and I've got the two Fazzalas with me with lights, trying to get some decent light on all of this stuff, because it really is very impressive, and we thank you very much for letting us have a look around.
There's one last thing, H.
Yeah.
A gentleman one day I know for years, like, he got an official invitation to the opening of Donnelly Motors back in 1974, and he actually gave it to me for my collection.
Wonderful.
So, you know, something
so
like
the
that.
opening of it.
Yeah, official opening of Donnelly Motors back in 1974.
How cool is that, eh?
So that sits in the cabinet, as you can see, with everything else.
Everything else.
Yeah. So yeah, no, things like that, little pieces of paper, and all that. So it's all
very cool.
All local motor and history.
All right, well, we might wander out and have a little bit more of a look at some of these cars, and then we'll wrap it up. So we're walking out of the house. He says, oh, you better have a look in the lounge room. So these are those diamond art that you've got to put all the little tiny crystals onto.
I didn't.
So did you do them?
No. Deanne brought them for me, and one of her friends' mother made them and put them together for me. She's got more patience than I have with stuff like that. I could spend all day doing a car, but I can't do diamond art.
You better not lose that wife of yours. I think she seems to be the one collecting all the gear.
I know, that's the best part about it. She finds it all, and then she tells me I've got too much.
Righto, we've settled down a bit now and we've come back out the back. So this was a factory 350 or what?
Yeah, it's all batch and numbers, Howard. Yeah, Dean's left it with the original motor, the gearbox and the diff in it, yeah.
Cool. Well detailed, mate. You know a bloke, do you?
Oh, I do know a bloke that does it every now and then, yeah. For some reason, yeah, he does it.
So you were telling me earlier that was like the, what do they call it now, the side hustle?
Yeah.
Back
then.
What, 20 odd, 30 years ago?
Yeah, and I'm still doing it today. That's the funny part.
Well, you must enjoy it.
Oh, I find it soothing, Howard, believe it or not.
That's a beautiful car, very well presented.
It's taken him 10 years to have it done, but he's owned it for 38 years.
Oh, really? And I always say to people, there's no end of cars. Like when these were new, you know, in the GT days of all the phases and all, there was plenty of money in the town, and there was, you know, plenty of them delivered from the dealers in Broken Hill. So what about yours, mate? Is it clean under the bonnet too?
Well, I hope so. If it's not, I'll have to find a detailer.
I was going to say, it's always the same though, isn't it? You never get the plumber's house, the taps always leak.
Nah. Not too bright though, Howard.
How's that? We'll turn the light on. So tell me what was different about the Aero to the others.
Basically what they did, they upgraded the motor a little bit to 195 kilowatts. As you can see, they colour coded all the engine covers and that. That's basically, and the suspension. You know, they put Bilsteins through it. And when we first brought it, it had Bilsteins in it, and it was just too harsh for Broken Hill roads. You know what our roads are like up here.
Yep.
So we got rid of the Bilsteins, which I think are still in the cupboard in the other shed, and we put a Momo touring package underneath it, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for the wife, who now doesn't like driving any of them.
The Broken Hill roads are something to behold.
Oh yes, they're lovely roads.
I was trying to think of a nice way to say it, that they're not very nice, but there isn't a nice way.
There isn't. And that's, so that's where it is. And it has got his autograph on the glove box. And I actually had Craig Lowndes done on it too when Craig come through when he was just starting out. So yeah.
Well mate, thank you very, very much for that. I'm sure everyone will enjoy that. I know I have. I've known your history and I've known you a very long time, but I've never had the opportunity to come and see the room. And even Fuzzy got his first little look today, so. Yeah,
so I dare say Chuck will be around for a bit longer. So quite welcome whenever he wants to come around.
He's a bit of a Holden HRT nut, so. No. Mate, thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you for coming in, Howard, and having a look. I hope you've enjoyed it.
We have, very much so. Oh, look at that. What's that coming out of the back cupboard there? Yeah. Hey? Where'd he come from?
I feel a bit sick, so I've got to go.
You've just been the doctor.
Hey? Oh, yeah, coming out of the Holden shed.
That's not nice, Fuzz. I've got feelings.